Hi there, it's Orc Tim here again. Today I'm doing my first review on a tabletop RPG, what this game is classed as. I found this gem when I was stuck in my room for 10 days with COVID. I was surfing YouTube, what I was going to do, and I found this on another channel. I can't remember the channel because I'm really bad at stuff like that, but I remember the gentleman's name is called Ash, and I think he's Canadian. I really do like this. I have played one game so far and a lot of game through, so on and so forth. And the game I'm talking about is Rangers of Shadow Deep. I would say this is slightly different than most games I have played or other people have played, but this is, I think, is really good for many different reasons. I will give my reviews 1 out of 10. 10 is the best thing in the whole world, and 1 is the most pile of crap. You don't touch it, burn it, send it to hell, whatever. And I will say this is my opinion of the game. There are loads of reviews, people's opinion, but this is going to be mine. The difference between this game is it is cooperative or solo play. It's not built for competitive. You're not going to fight against another player physically. And the enemy is a good, simple, easy AI system that works really well, in my opinion. They're very standard, but just think of what you would do, they will do, instead of straightforward. And also, I say one difference between this game and many others is it sounds simple, but it's how easy and simple the game is. It's really good for veteran players and also is really good for newcomers as well. And I would say even for a young audience, like if you've got a young son or a daughter, they can grips the rules around this game so much. Then I would say, as I'm trying to get a 6-year-old play 4K, this unit has these weapons, these special rules, they can do this can do this tank can do that, and then halfway through you're like, what the hell's going on? Then this is really straightforward out, and it's, I'd say, written nicely by Joshua, who has done quite a lot of books like this. He's done Frostgrave and Sylph Bayonet as well, and a couple others. So he's done really well there. The induction of the book, it has got 2 little inductions. One the first time when you think about to play the game, and the second is near the entrance, and then you got another one like near their beginning as well. It basically goes through and just explains who you are, what's going on. Very brief, very basic, but I say done quite well. You want basically in the land of hold on, I will butcher it. It is Anandor. I could be wrong, but basically what's going on, this something called the Shadow Deep is moving closer or creeping close like a fog and mist, or like a disease. It's spreading. And it has taken out whole villages, cities, towns, and so on. You are a ranger, a hero, a knight in shining armor. They use the word ranger, but it does not mean you don't need to make a ranger. The best way I can describe a ranger is Aragorn from Lord of the Rings. Everybody knows a ranger. That's why I ranger: bow, sword, cloak. I will get on when we have to make a ranger. I can explain a bit more detail. You go through doing missions with your companions, your mercenary squad, your men, what you want to call them, and you fight, survive, level up. People can die, and so on and so forth. But I think this dark mist is spreading across the land. You're there trying to hold it back, trying to defeat the evil and trying to stop it or not make it move, but it's so high, it's so big. The whole kingdom spread to the whole kingdom spread to collapse. So that's how really brief of it. Read it yourself. I'm not going to go all the way through because I'll be here for a while. Also, it will list what you need to play, and it's really simple. Miniatures. The good thing about this game, you can use anything you want. If you have old Games Workshop models, you have got, I think people mentioned Zomboy, like a board game, because they got lots of nice miniatures, zombies and other things like that. People recommend using them. Anything from any game you can think of, if it fits, fancy based, go for it. I think some people make like a Star Wars version of this game. I have no idea. I'm not a big. I like Star Wars, but I'm not a huge Star Wars person. But dice, you need D20, and I would say some dice for wounds. And if you want to roll some stuff like it comes out this table eggs 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, whatever. Maybe some D6 or D8s, whatever. But your D20s are your main ones. A stack of 52 playing cards. I have basic boring ones. You can get nice fancy ones, but they work fine. A Ranger sheet. I have got one in front. I sneaked in and copied it at work. So I got one for companion, one for my Ranger. It's there at the back of the book, so you can scan in on computer, photocopy what I did at work. And then you need a table, terrain, a map. A map is big. It's quite nice. It looks nice generally than a table. Most of the games are done by 2x5, 2.5 tables. I got a 3-foot map. It worked completely fine. Most maps come to that size, and I do recommend it's just only 6 inches more. What's the difference? You still can do really well on them games. And a measuring tape. You can use anything. I just got old GN double one that's been here for I've had for years. Terrain is this, you can use anything. I nicked my Christmas decorations, really good. But I also bought some really nice battle scales scenery myself. One of the cardboard ones, they're really good, reasonable price. Right put together. Well, some are better than others, but that's me. So, and the next thing it says really close to the book is how to make a Ranger. You have 10 build points to make a Ranger, and you can spend that on your base stack line, hero abilities and spells, and skill points. And also you have something called remorse or gold pieces to get put. You got a chance to get more men or better people or better companions or less companions. It depends what I'm saying. You only can put a certain amount of things in some. I will go through this a bit more when I make my own Ranger in another video. But you got 10 build points. It's really written out simple. And this is a good thing. You can make them how you want. If you want a wizard, you can go down more the wizard route. If you want a more of a proper Ranger, do it. I made myself more of a knight with a two-handed weapon, so close combat, or if a person is more thinky or better with skills and able to do more stuff. So you have so many varieties of doing it. So it doesn't need to be a Ranger like Aragon. You can just make anything. They just use the term Ranger. And that's really brief of it, really. It's so easy. I would say how it's written, a young a 10-year-old can read this really well. Then it recommends making you companions. You have the average 100. It depends what where you put build points. Then you can have maximum, I would say, about 135 if you do that, but your range won't be as good. So if you go down that route, I don't recommend it. They got a lot of different companions in the starting book. You have got fighters, a couple animals, more dogs, people with ranged weapons. It's like you got a barbarian, a savage. They're very good fighter, a lot of health, but not. They don't have much defense because what they are. You got knights, templars, a tracker, a archer, a rogue, a wizard, and you got some other people ones. So you do got a good variety. There are 4 more companions, but they're in another book, and I'll do a review on that as well. So you do have, and hopefully they could add more to it. Each companion has its own starting gear, own special some rolls and bits and bobs. You usually can give one thing. I just specify in the of my ranger squad. Some people will make broken lists. Some people will do a proper RP behind it and make a squad of what they want and what sounds different or what they want to do. Then I want 3 knights and then roll the table. I went something with more of RPG. I went with make myself and my friends and my other half. So it's how you want to do it. So if you like making things up, it's really good. It's really fun. Then you got a little bit about this, all the spells and health, what they're called, hero abilities. Listen what they can do, They have at least good variety of hero abilities. Some of them are really good for shooting spells and then attacking. And then you got I would say a good decent list of spells. Looking at it, it's about 20, maybe more. Some of them really good in some way, some more damaging, more for helping you out, moving, or some just, again, like anything, not that good. Some for hidden abilities. And then it got a list of skills. Just if you played Pathfinder and D&D, they're really that straightforward, like pick lock, strength, survival, really straightforward. Nothing, you need some of them for in missions, but otherwise that's it. I think this is one of the worst things I think about this game is the weapons variety. It's really basic. You have like, it says hand weapon. That could be axe, a sword, or whatever, a spear. That's all it goes for. A bow or a crossbow are the only two proper range weapons. You have a quiver, because you need that to shoot. 2-handed weapons. You can be armed. You are heavy, light, and light armor and shields for your defense. Because I got the most recent one, it has all sorts of mascot items like holy icons, spellbook, wand, wizard staff, and a tight crystal. You only can have one of them, but only your range can have it. I read through them. I didn't took any of them because that's not my my ranger. It's really basic. It's not much there, and I wish there could be a new book to bring out more. For like maybe spears or a hellbar or slings or whatever. It just specifies what they can do, and so on and so forth. I have done some changing already. One of the things I mentioned in my range squad is throwing knives. The worst thing is they mention throwing axes and light javelins. When you throw a knife, when you do damage, you -1 to the damage because it's just a dagger. it says, oh, you can use throwing axes and javelins. If you know history, a light javelin, definitely, if you know the Romans, they had a heavy and a light. If that either one of them hit you, you knew about it, and having something like -1 to it is a bit ridiculous. I've made one for a spear. On the charge, you get +1 to hit to your dice, and if you get charged, it's +1. Same with the enemies. I'm hoping, because the author of the book does pay attention to the community, and he does pay attention, so he's really good. Hopefully, if more people agree with me, he can put something out like this. But the list is very simple, really easy, really basic, but I think that's a downfall. I think that's one of the worst. I think downfall of this is not enough of the thing. Like any game, you've got a big chunk of the rules. It goes through everything of combat, shooting, moving, what you have, difficult terrain, special things if you get poisoned, disease, if you describe how to use your skills and skill roll, same to will, falling damage, swimming, so on and so forth. It's really simple. What he loses a lot of tables, like I was gonna say swimming. If you wear light armor, it's -2. Wear heavy armor, it's -5. Shield -1. If carrying traces, -2. So instead of writing it down in a big list, he puts a lot more tables down. You can see it quite well, and to me that is like what, to my opinion, not many. I've read some rules that don't do that. They write it down because this is if you do this minuses. He's written it down, bold, easy to see it, and you go, oh, okay, yeah, I'm -5 to my swim. Oh great, I'm gonna drown more likely. But it's one of the things. It's really easy to go through the rules. It's description of how to when you get multiple combat, how to multiple combat, just everything like that. If you play Warhammer, if you read the rules, that's what it's at. If you call multiple combats, that it really specifies that. It's really easy. Well, I think when you play one game, you go, yeah, I might know what I'm doing. Off you go. Otherwise, that's it. So you can basically watch a really good gameplay on YouTube or something like that, and you go, I get this. I have got this. I've read some of the rules. You know what you're doing. It's that really good. One of the things I really got surprised out how really was good from this is he did have some different things. So I mentioned about poison disease. I was quite surprised. I thought it had some. It's only got about 4 to 5, which is a bit more. Of I would say I can't remember the word now. More like disease, you've been plagued or unwell. It's got a few, and then they only come up from scenarios. Having a couple more would be quite nice of defaults you can get throughout the campaign on the missions. But yes, but I'm going through not for the rules, reading for myself. It's only about, I think about 10 pages, the main bulk of the rules, but otherwise it's really straightforward. One of the things I was quite surprised about for this game is how this guy, the Tresser, it's when you can find Tresser on the way for the campaign. They go through everything, and then makes you roll on a table. He likes this book likes to roll on a table, and you 1 to 6 you find golden jewelry, 7 to 12 herbs, and so on and so forth. I'm expecting about some herbs, some materials. It's about 20 on each, so officially there are 20 different herbs and potions. I thought that's really reasonable because I play some games that are one way too many or two not enough, and I think 20 pretty good. And he can bring out more. 20 different magical items you can find. Some are one use, some are multiple use. I think one of them is like a cloak you can keep wearing, and some of them is a like a firestone orb, and you can use that only once. It does show you in brackets saying it's like it says toolkit and it has nothing. I mean, you can keep using it. A fire fate stone, it has brackets 1, the only one you use only. And then you've got the weapons, again, it's another d20, so you roll, that's what you find. In another book, they have got more magical items, but I will go through that more from in that in another few. But the ones on here are really quite simple. It specifies the magical light, blocking, and it specifies like that. Blocking is you can ignore if you take like 20 damage and someone has shield block 1 or 4, I think that brackets 1 in one whole game, in one scenario, you can block the amount of that damage. So instead of dying, you can keep that heal safe and takes no single point of damage. It's all written up really well. It's all in alphabetical order as well, saying with all the items what they can do and so on and so forth. Some are better than others. Like here, two-handed weapon lights. It's really, really good. All heroes or companions are going to have a hold 5 items. Heavy weapon, two-handed weapon takes 2 of their slots. A light weapon gives the bonus they don't count slots. So that is just 2 slots count make up. So physically you physically actually move stuff 2 extra slots. Sadly, you can't buy any of this. They don't have like a shop system for a campaign for potions or anything, or magical items, or even upgrading your gear. So I want my archer who stands back in back to have heavy armor. It's nothing like that, and that's another default. I think it have like a little shop system. Also, just generally have around the gear. I think the only gear you can get just not specialised from the starting equipment is a rope. That is it. Nothing else. No like torches. No herb pouches that there are in there, but you have to find them. To me, for RPG that tabletop RPG that does let it down a little bit. Not having that. It's nice to approve and get some simple things or that costs us money, but it's nothing like that in the game. So that's something a bit for a big campaign with a lot of missions, and I've got, I think, about 6 or 7 books out now with their own campaigns, missions in, and still nothing there. To me, it's wish it was, but that's one bad thing. But generally, the treasure for all 3 is a d20. That's 60 different items, and very simple way to do it. It's very well. Right, and the missions, and the missions are, I think, really planned out very easy. So it firstly describes what ministers you need. So it says like 6 zombies, 3 plus 3 spiders, whatever, blah 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 blah. For this mission, it does do a description as well. I like, and then again, and then every mission will have where to put everything, it describes what we do recommend. Put certain things. Each mission will have clue markers because it's objective you need to do. Each clue marker can be different. When I play my first mission, there's a list of different clues. You have the roll on the table. Again, he likes rolling. You've got some special rules. Some can be at the bigger game. Like I think you roll on, tracking or something. If you roll more than 8, you can move a clue marker closer towards you by 6 inches, and something like that throughout the game. Then you do have an event table as well. That's where the cards come in as well. So this one says on a red 8, place zombies. Place 4 added zombies on the table edge in the same position as it's starting for. So you have there more and so on and so forth. It is randomized, so it can be different each game you play. And then if you thought that was too easy, in each game they have a challenge level, so to make the game a bit harder. So obviously, and they have that. Some of them I've read through is like, oh, okay, that's not that difficult. And some of them is like, oh, that makes a lot of difference. I think this one gives you more rats, giant rats to kill. One of them read gives you 2 ogres to fight. And I thought, 1, okay, but 2, wow, okay, but it depends how it goes. And then if you do well, you can do it experience points. Your ranger gets experience points. Depends. Every for first 5 level, every 100 he gives that level. Your companions gets 1 best way experience point if they get knocked out for the game and doesn't die, but still 5, and they get 2 if they don't get knocked out. They are harder to experience more than your ranger, but if your henchman survive longer, better they will get by miles. It makes a lot of difference on them. It's also each now is different. It does go through if there's anything different, what you need, descriptions, everything. So I do like this, and I have done the first mission. It will say what table size it is, what you need, give you ideas and so on and so forth. I'm very happy about it. I will be playing that again because it was a test trial run to see how well it did. It looked right on the camera, my phone, that's what I'm using, and hopefully I'll put up that one very soon. So generally, the book's not that long. I think it's generally about 122 pages in here. They're about 2 starting missions. I do recommend playing. It's it just gets you in the game, and then it has a couple of small ones when describing the whole history about getting into Shadow Deep, and then I think they have a smaller campaign, then they have a bigger campaign, all in the book. I think it's about 1, 2, 3, about 4 together, and it has a variety, and they're the main ones. So in the book itself, it does really well. So yes, for Rangers Deep, I like it because it's a cooperative and single play. Then versus there's so many games like that, and sometimes you want something different. And more rangers you have, because you can up to 4 players. You have 4 rangers, 4 your friends playing. That's 4 rangers. You have less companions as well. I think with 2 rangers you have up to maximum 3. 3 rangers, maximum 1 companion, and then 4 and nothing. So you can more rangers you have, you can make it more difficult. So it's so much thing, and it's there just the basic rules. You can just change so much to make it different for yourself, or make something better or something harder. I think just explains that, or a lot of people recommend you can do it because it's so easy to do. I love the rule systems. Really lay out really easy, really well, easy to read. Making a range, building a ranger, sorting out, making your companions, really straightforward. And you can give them a little bit different tastes. Your ranger a lot more, but your companions only a little bit. And also, in this has I forgot to mention, is a big list of enemies you need, models you need, and their stats. It's really helpful, and it's got quite a lot. The only problem is, if you don't have something, is when you're doing a scenario, you forgot what a zombie does. You have to go flip for the back books. I was quite smart. I bought the cards with them on. These are added. You have to pay them separate, but I do recommend these because you don't need to flip it. You can look down and go, oh yeah, this is what it does. It's done, sorted. But that's one bad thing I would say. If you don't, you need to flip for the books, and it can be irritating. Or you remember them off the heart, or you screenshot them on your phone, or something like that. But the cards do help. I went for the cards, but otherwise, I do really like this. I enjoyed it. I want to carry on doing it. I want to see my Ranger squad going on, not and my guys do not die, improve them, get them better. My Ranger get better, and check how well we can do in the Shadow Deep. My opinion is on this. I firstly will give it out what I think out of 10. I think I'll give it a good about, for Rangers of Shadow Deep, the core rulebook. Get the you got the deluxe version or this one. A good 7.5 out of 10. It's a really good game. It's nice. It's simple. I only played one. I'm enjoying it. It's good for veterans players and young players. The rules are easy to read. There's a variety you can change. If you don't like something, you can change it pretty easy and make it more even for enemies and good and both sides. So I do recommend this really easily. I hope you enjoyed the review, and I'll catch you again, and many thanks.